We've been doing a lot of testing on our lifan 125cc swapped 1965 Honda S65, but I think it's time to make some real power and choose a low buck carburetor upgrade. What's on the menu? Up first is the venerable round bowl PZ19. For less than $10, this common carburetor is often seen on stock crate engines and pit bikes. It features a true manual choke and an intake manifold bore diameter of 19 millimeters. Because this carburetor is supplied on bikes as small as 50cc, I'd be surprised if it isn't limiting the max performance of our 125. An 18mm slide diameter makes this carburetor the smallest on our list today. Up next we have a carburetor advertised as VM22. At less than $20, this is definitely an homage to the real Mikuni VM22. Like the real thing, it features an enrichener and not a choke, and has an intake manifold bore diameter of 26mm. Wow! Shameless naming choices aside, this quote-unquote VM22 is a popular swap for both 125cc pit bikes and Predator-based engine builds. The slide diameter is 21 millimeters. Third on our list is this very stylish $27 PZ19 carburetor. It has a clear float bowl. I like that. Like the PZ19, it features a true manual choke and has an inlet manifold bore diameter of 26 millimeters. Alright! Unlike the Mikuni-based VM22, this carburetor is obviously an homage to a Kian design. Despite being ostensibly a larger carburetor, having 26 in the name, the slide diameter of the PZ26 is only 20 millimeters, 1 millimeter smaller than the Mikuni VM22 clone. Representing the high end of our field today is this $50 Nibby PE24. It features an enrichener and has an intake manifold bore diameter of 25 millimeters. These Nibby carburetors are well known on the mini-moto track for offering great performance and tunability at a good price. Just look at the polished finish on this slide. That's some pretty good workmanship for the price point. Not only does it look good, but this slide is by far the largest out of the field with a diameter of 26 millimeters. Now that's going to flow some air. Installing any carburetor onto one of these Honda horizontal designed engines is a snap. Now, none of these carburetors ran perfectly out of the box, so I'm going to include which jetting I used in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Let the testing begin. Drilling the main jet to a 92 and raising the needle finally richened up the carburetor to a point where it gave acceptable performance both on roll-on and in top end. A little over 7 horsepower is what we've seen in the past, and this carburetor was very drivable in this state. Let's switch out that PZ19 for the VM22. Comparing our first carb to this carb, whoa! Look at those gains! Oh, it felt like a whole new bike, especially on the top end. Peak power was up by 15% to over 8 horsepower, and above 7,000 RPM, the gains were staggering. Is there any way that our next carb can top this? Alright, after our last result, I'm pumped. Here's our old numbers, and... Okay, we can see that Big Red still made good power over stock, making 7 3/4 horsepower instead of 7. But we can see that the performance diverges from the VM22 everywhere above 6,000 RPM, most likely due to the slightly smaller slide diameter. Let's get ready to test our final carburetor. Finally, here are our current standings, and the new carb. Oh man, the PE24 felt great, so I'm surprised it didn't make more power than the VM22 did up top. Still, it was a good showing, making the most power of the day at 8.08 horsepower. If you notice the bottom end of that graph, there was a roll-on bog that I was unable to effectively tune out. So I think that the PE24 might just be a little too much carburetor for this stock 125. So there you have it. If you're looking for a good budget upgrade for your pit bike, both the knockoff Mikuni VM22 and the Nibby PE24 are solid upgrades for your money. In fact, we're approaching Grom levels of performance on this guy. If you like what we've done today and you'd like to see more, leave me a comment below and consider subscribing. See you next time. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please consider offering a like and a subscribe below.